Okay, are we looking at Bangladesh winning the World Cup after they've heroically beaten India by 6 cricket runs? Pezza, are you happy with Bangladesh finally getting over the line against India? Are you happy?
Mate, an Asia Cup dead rubber where India lose and Pakistan are consigned to bottom of the Super Fours and the wooden spoon, mate, I'm saying hello Bangladesh and hello view count.
The Grey Cricketer is brought to you by Cricket.com. Download the Cricket.com app right now, and also you can follow Cricket.com on YouTube. Subscribe to their channel if you like us, which means that you like them. That's how it works. That's a partnership. Pezza, I want to start the first of the 3 things today. Bangladesh had a stick first. They made 265, and that's because Shakib Al Hasan he's just the captain. He's just the captain. He's kicking stumps over. He's asking questions. It's a captain's knock in a dead rubber. Sure, okay, I understand these things. But it's down the ground. It's sweep shots. It's guiles. It's leadership. Shakib is my king.
Yeah, man. I mean, thank you for speaking for all of us there. I don't know what else to add to that. I tell you what, in terms of my relationship to Bangladeshi cricket, which is a well-trodden piece of discourse, Shakib Al Hasan is my safety. And I presume he is the safety of the Bangladesh nation, of the Bangladesh polis itself. I mean, I actually notice looking up, as is my want, and all of our wants, the top 15 most famous people in Bangladesh. Shakib doesn't appear there. Instead, it's a list of honourable scientists, physicists, politicians, engineers, and I think that's a serious country. You know, like the most famous export out of Australia was a guy that could catch crocodiles and got killed by a stingray. With respect, by the way, doffing of the cap. That's so. I'm just saying, respect Bangladesh and Bangladesh, if you will, and respect to Shakib Al Hasan. No, kids, I'm doing important work.
I did not see that coming. A Steve Irwin tribute to Shakib Al Hasan. 80 runs off 85 balls.
Yeah, keep going.
The boys are on, the boys are in. 6 fours, 3 sixes. They made it to 265 for 8. People were thinking, is that enough? Which is often a common refrain at the halfway point, at the halfway house, at the halfway turn.
House especially.
People are turning and thinking,
just get out of jail.
when they leave prison, before they enter society again, they're thinking, is 265 enough in a 50 over match?
Sorry.
Bowlers did some stuff. I guess shout out to Kaur was the best of the bowlers, despite going for 65 cricket runs. He did take 3 for though. Let's get into the main point of this entire episode, Pez, and it's just thirst trap runs. It's 100 in a losing side. It is Shubman Gill scoring 121 off 133, opening the batting with Rohit, who got a globe, 8 fours, 5 sixes, hitting him at 90. Shubman Gill, like his entrance into international cricket just continues to be fucking amazing. And I know that he's been in the setup for, about 8 years now. But like from the Gabba, since then, like has there been a dip? Am I forgetting a dip?
Mate, those fucking abs are dipping right into his hips there. Like, and I think the first thing to say upon another 100 for Shubby is friend of the show, Shubman Gill. I think, even despite our Cam Green catch commentary. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. It's a Shubby ton in a losing side, rig out, rupees in the phone case. It's his 5th ODI century. It's languidity. It's levers. There's a ball that Shakib bowls to him, my mate Shakib. Gill, thirst trap isn't there at all. He is morally and spiritually, economically defeated in flight. And he decides to throw his hands at it with all the languidity and the levers that, God bestowed upon him, or whoever your Sky Daddy is, with respect. And it is a concession of defeat. And he just throws his hands at it, hits the middle of the bat, soars over long off. I think it's Sanjay Mandraker, just goes, oh my God. I mean, it's like Gill hit it with such nonchalance of like, well, I'm not there, see what happens. 6. That's the modern game. I also want to shout out Shubby for his 100 celebration because he bows. I like that because that is harking back to your Beethovens, your Mozarts. It's a classical acknowledgement of the crowd. He's not jumping up celebrating a Toyota partnership unless he is sponsored by the Indian Symphony Orchestra, in which case I'll retract my comments. But that would be awesome if he was. Does a bow, and then it's a conventional raise of the bat. Sort of holds the edge to he sort of leads with the edge, but I like that much better than what we see these days, which is the back of the bat sponsorship towards the cameras in the media center, or holding the face of the bat, gripping it like you're palming a basketball. For me, that can get in the bin. If you want to start turning it horizontally and pushing the bat, then I'm starting to come back into the fold here, but that's just my own reflections. So, another acknowledgement to Shubman Gill and everything that package is, I guess, especially the losing side done.
He has scored Test hundreds, T20 hundreds, IPL hundreds, and what's the other one I'm missing?
ODIs.
ODI,
like
did I say that?
last night.
T20, IPL. Yeah, right. He scored 100 last night, right? He is doing it in every format. But has he got a shot? Like, you know how, like, Lara, Tendulkar, Ponting, they had a shot. Like, what's Shubman's shot? Because it's not quite 360 in the same way that like De Villiers was, or Surya Kumar is, or Maxwell or whatever. Does he have a signature? Because it's what's his best shot? Like for me, I love the back foot punch, and we're talking about a guy who's got 100 in a losing side. Like Bangladesh have won the game. But I want Shubman Gill to have a shot and a signature with it. Like the bow for 100, okay, I will cop that. But I need a shot. What is it?
There's time for him to develop. I like that because, once again, one of our favourite subtopics is packaging up Shubman Gill from a marketing perspective. I mean, once again, they made their mistakes at Gujarat, sort of equating him with the gutting of a fish to gill it. And we quickly fixed that here on The Grade Cricketer, and the scoreboards reflected it at 007, Licence to Thrill, etc. And I see now that the next marketing board meeting we're having for Shubman Gill is, well, what's his signature shot? If he's going to score all these runs, he's got to have a signature that we can sell, to sponsors. I mean, we should get our own, cricket.com notwithstanding. But, I agree with you. Like, the signature shot when he was out in Australia in 2021, which is a series I forget. I just read about this apparently happening.
I don't remember that.
It was those quick sort of bowling to him in the fourth or fifth stump channel, which is normally one to leave, and he could just punch you. He could make runs there. Now, I'm not getting a sponsorship with the Indian Symphony Orchestra for that shot, though, am I? Perhaps he could, he could start to look at how to develop a signature shot to help us goldfish brains remember all of the runs he's scoring, because he's scoring them. He's got shots. It's almost like he's got every shot.
Scoring.
I mean, I think his signature shot is an Instagram shot of his body, really. So, yeah. I could see, we're flitting in between kind of making fun of this, but also respecting him. This is respect. I mean, we're talking about just 360 runs, 360 formats, and a great rig. It's the full package. We're just, when you're in marketing, you've just got to win at the edges. That's all I'm saying.
That's right. India or Bharat, indeed, were never really close. Akshar Patel kind of got him close. Like the game, like Bangladesh have won the game by 6
yeah.
runs, but it wasn't really that close. You know, Aksapador comes in at 8 again and scores 42 off 34 to sort of get them in the picture, but not really like in a scenario where like, oh, India's close or ahead. Like it was always kind of like, because the Fizz takes 3 for.
As he does.
And just some change of pace into the deck staff. Yorkers, like just excellent death execution bowling. But it's a close game, but it wasn't, and so I kind of want to introduce. I kind of want to introduce a third thing here, Pezza, and I want to ask a question to you: is can Bangladesh just ruin someone's World Cup? Because if the Asia Cup has taught me anything, and I think it's clear that it's taught me nothing, is that there are lots of really good teams that are going to play in the World Cup and in the conditions that are foreign to white people. Bangladesh have excellent cricketers that on their day can just win a game. And I know India or Bharat have played a C team, which is probably good enough to win in Australia, in my opinion, in 2021. But Bangladesh, they've won this game. They finally get over the line in a close game against India. Is it something to look at where you're like, Bangladesh can ruin someone's World Cup?
Well, I wonder if Bangladeshis would be hearing that and going, we're somewhere in between, you know, World Cup ruiners and Super 4 accessors, you know? Like, Bangladesh should be good for a couple of wins in a World Cup. Yeah, they're going to ruin some orgasms for teams. But how many times can you ruin someone's World Cup before you lose the tag of being World Cup ruiners? I mean, I know that is one of the big questions in world cricket at the moment. I feel like that's where Bangladesh sits. Like, I'd say Afghanistan could ruin World Cups for people, but Bangladesh have been around enough that they might go, we're trying to actually succeed in our own World Cup rather than just give everyone a hard time, aka Man United under David Moyes playing against Newcastle. You know, like we just want to make it hard for them. With Robin van Persie and Wayne Rooney
very specific.
in the lineup. I think people in Asia get it. Believe me, we're still smarting from it. So, I don't think they're a Moyes side, Bangladesh. I don't think they're a David Moyes cricket side. I think they've got a bit more to offer there. But and it's important to note here, he goes, this is Bangladesh's third win in 4 ODIs against India as well. So I'm calling that bogey team territory for India. And maybe Bangladesh should be worried when they play India. But the good thing about Bangladesh, I think, is that normally you're looking at Shakib, it's the Shakib and Mushi show, Mushfiqur Rahim, right?
Yeah.
Mushi not even playing tonight, right? So, you've always got the Fizz knocking about as well with Bangladesh. Litton does.
Always.
These are stalwarts of Bangladeshi cricket. These are guys who can give you some trouble in an international game. Are they household names in Australia? Do they belong in the household of names that we know? No, they don't. I mean, they might belong in the households of single men who have dolls in their dungeons, but in the main, in Australia, no, they're not household names. But now you've got some depth. You've got your Tanzims, beautiful opening spell from him. You've got your Mehdi Hassan and your Mahedi Hassan. There's plenty to look forward to in Bangladeshi cricket.
Pezza, very impressive. Hashtag AskTGC. James wrote in on X, and he simply said, a full episode on the life and story of Stuart MacGill would be gold. Please and thanks. People might have caught the story, and people might have been shocked to hear the news of Stuart MacGill's recent happenings, shall we say? Yes, we shall. I, for one, was gobsmacked. I just could not even fathom this occurring. But when I type in Stuart MacGill to YouTube and I just see consistently 6 fucking perfect leg spinners with drift and guile and mitts, and I'm just thinking, for me in my life, what a bowler,
Stuart MacGill is like one of my spirit animals in life. particularly with the way he approached leg spin. I had the fortune of going to a spinner's day once at the SCG where I stood opposite Stuart McGill as we warmed up under the watchful tutelage, or should I say tutelage, as someone suggested on YouTube, of Peter Philpott. And he bowled a ball to me from like 15 yards to warm up, which was a wrong 'un, and it spat off a AstroTurf wicket and hit me in the chin. Nobody could apply more violence to a cricket delivery than Stuart McGill, and the mind boggles at how many Test wickets could have been taken had he come at any other time in the history of the game. Unfortunately, he had to end with 208 or some shit, which isn't bad. Which isn't bad for a bloke who got a couple of goes. And was derided for doing things like drinking red wine. As for where he finds his life at the moment, I just wish him the best. I hope that he can get healthy and recover. And I suppose, like you, Higgos, I was just absolutely shocked at the recent news of his arrest. Just shocked.
There is one game left in the Asia Cup before the next thing happens. Click subscribe on this here channel because we'll be reviewing the big one, India, Sri Lanka. We'll see you guys on the internet real soon for that review and then the World Cup and everything and more. See you real soon. Cheers.